Can you believe it's been a decade since 2013? When we talk about cultural heritage, our minds often travel back to the Spanish colonial era or the indigenous roots of our ancestors. But what about the stories being written today? What about the heritage that supports all that has come before? And so, what if cultural heritage is also being created in the here and now? Take, for example, places like the book Museum Cum Ethnology Center, hidden in Marikina's southeast Dow Street. In the past 12 years, this hidden gem has made an indelible mark, serving as an unassuming yet transformative space that beautifully bridges the past, present, and future. As a Tubong Mariqueño, or someone who grew up in Marikina, it's actually my first time visiting this place, and what struck me most was how it redefined cultural heritage for me. It reminded me that cultural heritage doesn't always have to feel so distant. Sometimes it's something we can almost reach, just a little before our time, close enough to feel its presence, yet far enough to remind us how much has changed. Today, I'm not just here to explore a museum. I'm here to rediscover a part of my identity that I didn't even realize I was missing. The museum's name vaguely rings a bell, probably because I remember seeing it on a trip itinerary back in elementary school. I think it was the only trip I didn't attend as a kid, maybe because I assumed the places on the list wouldn't be exciting. Years passed, life got busy, and I forgot about it entirely. Until now, I hadn't realized what I missed, or just how wrong I was. Now, more than a decade later, I'm finally here, ready to explore how this space, in its quiet way, holds pieces of history, culture, and perhaps even a little healing for the child who wasn't able to visit the museum in its prime years. It's a rainy day, but the rain won't stop me from visiting this place. It almost feels fitting, like the weather adding a soft charm to the experience. At the front, the museum sits right beside Rex Bookstore, instantly sparking my curiosity and excitement. For others, a bookstore might sound ordinary. They might think it's just a place filled with shelves of books, similar assumption to the museum beside it, because of its name. But what thrilled me was learning that Rex Bookstore isn't just any bookstore we're used to. It's actually a well-respected cornerstone of Filipino education and culture, sought after and relied on by experts. It was established in 1950 and known to have an impressive collection of law books and history books. It only has 24 branches nationwide. And what makes the Marikina branch unique is its access to the museum and it being the only exclusive branch in the city. Often many seasoned individuals think that Rex Bookstore is a rare find that often requires searching far and wide. Some of them I asked in person didn't know if it still exists or if it can be found anywhere near. Yet, we didn't realize that such treasures were right here in our hometown all along. It's only recently that I found myself genuinely drawn to explore deeper into history and culture. There was a time when I only viewed these topics as merely reminders of academic pressure or life's harsh realities. I once found joy in them through art, but that connection was inconsistent. Now, as I reconnect with history and culture, learning feels different, less like a burden and more like an enjoyable journey of discovery, connection, and meaning. Unfortunately, I couldn't visit the bookstore as it is closed for the holiday season. The museum too was supposed to be closed today, but thanks to Miss Jam, our tour guide, we were given the rare chance to experience the beauty of the museum. It is then that Miss Jam revealed to me that the owner of the museum is also the president of Rex Bookstore. Who would have thought?
He's also the president and the owner of Rex. Any related to Rex, Rex Books or Rex Publishing, Rex Printing, kaya may katabi kaming Rex. Kasi he's the owner of Rex. Mabigati naman po talaga.
This connection between the museum and the bookstore suddenly made everything feel even more meaningful. Both spaces are deeply rooted in the pursuit of learning, yet they approach it in such different ways. Before we uncover more about the visionary behind this space, let's first get to know him through the remarkable collections he has brought together, treasures and legacies that he has entrusted to us to explore, learn from, and connect with. Our journey began in the Annex building, a captivating space that bridges the prehistoric and historical worlds. This area feels like a teaser, offering glimpses of the diverse and fascinating artifacts that await in the other buildings. The Annex boasts an eclectic collection that spans centuries. At the entrance, visitors are greeted by prehistoric stones used as protection or grave markers. Moving deeper, the Annex showcases a variety of materials serving different purposes: burial, war, social status, faith, and storytelling. It boasts various sculptures of stone and wood, crafted by artists of different eras. There were also clay artifacts, salakot hats, dried plant fibers, and even a fossilized pearl shell, the largest of its kind. Upstairs, the Annex continues to captivate with traditional armors, intricate necklaces, wooden sculpture, various hats, and a collection of items from the owner's alma mater, creating a deeply personal connection to the space. Along the hallway to access the other buildings, we saw the portrait of the museum's owner. His name is attorney Domi Nador Jimmy D. Buha In, also the president of Rex. I'm so surprised that this very recent portrait, at the age of 79, still shows him looking very young and healthy. I'm starting to be convinced that his collections, especially those that offer protection, give him the strength to continue his journey and remain youthful while doing so. Kidding aside, we were amazed to learn that attorney Jimmy Buha In is not just a collector, but also an accomplished businessman. Other than having the Museum House Rex bookstore, it also includes the ladies' dormitory and the once famous James Dean Cafe. This cafe, however, closed down during the pandemic, but the art and collections remain inside. He also has other business ventures and museums across the country, showcasing his passion to preserve heritage. And if that weren't impressive enough, his personal home is said to house a private collection of artifacts and treasures so exclusive that only VIPs are allowed to see it. It's clear that Attorney Jimmy's life is not just about business, it's about building spaces that inspire learning, exploration, and a deep connection to culture. Entering the building of Northern Philippines collection, the focus shifts to the ingenuity and spiritual depth of the Ifugao people and their neighboring communities. The room is filled with anitos and bululs, spiritual carvings like lizards that served as guardians and intermediaries between the physical and spiritual realms. These pieces, some centuries old, reflect a culture deeply connected to the land and its resources. It also boasts their advanced practices, including tools and objects that demonstrate their mastery of both agriculture and artistry. One of the most striking exhibits is a wooden bike, a testament to their ingenuity and technological foresight. The Northern Collection offers a profound glimpse into a way of life where every object, may it be practical to the sacred, carried deep meaning and reflected the community's enduring connection to nature and tradition. And stepping into the Southern Philippines Collections building immerses visitors in the vibrant richness of Mindanao's culture, where artistry, tradition, and resilience shine in every piece. The collection includes stunning replicas of traditional Maranao homes, which stand as architectural marvels. These homes, adorned with vibrant colors and intricate ochre patterns, offer a glimpse into a way of life steeped in artistic expression. Among the highlights are traditional armors, shields, weaponry, and tools, each crafted with extraordinary attention to detail. These items blend practicality with artistry, reflecting not only their makers' defensive strategies, but also their deep appreciation for aesthetic beauty. Walking through this collection feels like stepping into a time when intricate art was an integral part of daily life and status. The final building we visited, the Book Museum, offers a deeply personal look into the life and vision of Attorney Jimmy. He is one of the most traveled Filipinos in the world, has visited 258 countries and every province in the Philippines, using only Philippine visa. His passion for learning and culture is evident in every corner of his space. The Book Museum houses books from A to Z, including rare and miniature books, like one of the smallest books in the world, which contains the Lord's Prayer and is readable with this magnifying glass inclusion. The shelves are filled with travel photos, journals, and literary treasures from around the globe, all carefully curated to inspire curiosity and learning. At the heart of the museum stands a marble statue of Dr. Buha In's foot, symbolizing the essential role of the foot in the process of progression. For Dr. Buha In, who is known for his love of traveling, the foot represents the foundation of his journey, both literally and figuratively. It's a reminder that every step, no matter how small, is vital in exploring the world, discovering culture, and pursuing knowledge. I conducted a casual interview with the tour guide Miss Jam during my visit. She shared how Dr. Buha In's extensive travels and dedication to education have shaped the museum's mission. But she also spoke candidly about the responsibility of managing such a legacy. One of the challenges she highlighted is the museum's location in a residential area in Marikina. While this gives it a unique charm, it also makes the museum less visible and less known compared to larger institutions in Metro Manila. Many locals remain unaware of the treasures housed so close to home, making awareness a significant hurdle.
Baka po may reason bakit dito sa residential area. So, hindi ka po na i-open sa inyo kung ano po yung reason?
Wala naman siya sinabing reason, pero feeling ko dahil nga sa bakante, kung saan yung bakante at malawak, doon siya nagtatayo. Siguro, naisip niya rin, kasi tiga-QC ang owner eh. So, naisip niya siguro dahil ito nga yung malapit, Marikina. So, dito na lang siguro siya nagtayo. Pero, ang Marikina Museum kasi, nag-start siya ng 2013. So, already 1 decade na yung nakakaraan.
Pero, may kinalaman po ba yung, kasi malapit lang po yung kapitan ng elementary school, baka po strategy na po yun dahil malapit po sa mga estudyante?
Possible, kasi before nandito din yung World Butterfly, di ba?
Okay.
Before, pero nagsira na kasi yung World Butterfly na yun kasi namatay yung mga butterfly. So, possible din na isa yun sa mga strategies niya. Kaso nga, yung tulad ng sabi ko kanina, medyo hindi lang kilala ang Book Museum dahil residential area ang
ng mga Marikina po. Kasi sabi nyo ng mga taga-QC, mas alam pa po.
Oo, mas alam pa ng mga taga-QC.
Feeling ko sila po yung nag-live ng mga 5-star feedback po dun sa...
Feeling ko din. Mostly sila.
Curious about why attorney Jimmy chose this location, I asked Miss Jam if there was a particular reason behind it. She presumed it might simply be what a businessman could find, a vacant lot available at the time. I ventured a guess that perhaps the proximity to a school played a role, and Miss Jam said it was possible. She also mentioned that years ago there was a nearby attraction called the World of Butterflies, suggesting it could have been part of Dr. Jimmy's strategy to create a cultural and educational hub in the area. I haven't had the chance to reach out to the owner, but it would be fascinating to hear his thoughts and intentions directly. Miss Jam also emphasized that accessibility, preservation, and promotion are areas needing improvement. As a privately owned museum, resources for outreach can be quite limited. To address this, she has recently been active in social media management, particularly in Facebook, actively sharing glimpses of the museum's updates to spark curiosity and connect with a wider audience. Her goal is to inspire more people to visit and appreciate what the museum has to offer. The challenges the museum faces serve as a reminder that cultural preservation requires more than passion. It needs active participation from communities to thrive. I left with a renewed appreciation for places like this, where someone's vision and dedication have created opportunities for people like me to pause, reflect, and find inspiration in the heritage we sometimes take for granted. I hope that starting today, and through this video, we can contribute to the promotion and preservation of spaces like this, places that bridge the past and present, and remind us of the stories that shape our identity now, and in the future.